6. We're talking about the AFC teams all over the place. You got a Super Bowl contender one week, and then they're losing to the Texans the next.
Yeah, the AFC standings have been just a carousel, a jumbled mess. For a long time we thought the Ravens were the best team in the AFC. We came into the season thinking Kansas City was going to be. Then everybody thought Kansas City was done. If you watch Kansas City the last couple of weeks, they're not going anywhere. I mean, they're 7 I think they're 6. No, they're 7-4, just like the Pats are. I mean, this is going to come down to the wire. The AFC. You have the top 10 teams in the AFC are above 500 right now with 6 games left. So you have teams that are, going to probably go on winning streaks. You're going to have teams that are going to go on losing streaks towards the end of the season. This is going to come down to the bitter end. And, we all thought in the AFC East, even as Pats fans, I was like, the Bills are probably going to win the division. They're super talented. They won the AFC Championship last year. Now the Bills are like, they have 2 more games against the Pats. They haven't played each other yet this season. So if they win both those, they're back in the driver's seat. But the Bills have got to be worried right now after losing a couple of games this last month. And you see the Pats climbing the standings. And like I just said, Kansas City, who we thought, a lot of teams maybe thought was done, now they're once again near the top. So you have so many teams that are still in this fight. And Tennessee, they're 8-3. They've really played well this season, but they've had some bad losses. Now you don't have Derrick Henry. They shut down Julio Jones for a couple of weeks. That hasn't really worked out. They're banged up. One of their other receivers, I can't remember his name, he's banged up. And then A.J. Brown is, I think, still going to play this week, but he's not 100%. Harold Landry, their D-end out of Boston College a couple of years ago, he's been great this year, but he was hurt last week. They've had so many injuries, and Ryan Tannehill isn't good enough to just carry a team without a couple of weapons. He's a good quarterback, but he's not one of those guys like a Brady, like a Mahomes, like a Rodgers, like a Russell Wilson, who can kind of carry your team despite injuries or despite losing guys in free agency. He needs some guys around him. So I don't know if Tennessee's going to be able to keep this up despite being in the top of the standings. We could have 3 or 4 different teams down the stretch getting to that top spot and then jumping back down because of the parity amongst the AFC.
Yeah, to your point, I think we're going to quickly find out if Ryan Tannehill can do it or if he can't, and it will quickly back up your point if they lose a few games that he can't do it. Like you said, missing some weapons, not having that dominant run game, can he still get this team winning going forward? I'll tell you what, there's a big game just this weekend coming up with 2 of those top 5 teams. That's the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans facing off against each other. So we're going to really see who comes out on top of that. I think it's big for both teams right there going forward, getting that win, because it will really solidify for maybe New England getting another one in the pot that they can sit on and say, hey, we beat the best team right now that was 8-3 in the AFC. And then, for like we said, if Tannehill can get a good team where arguably the Patriots are probably the hottest team right now in the AFC, which I love saying that. I don't think many of us expected that at this point in the season, but they are the hottest team in the AFC quickly, though. Coming up behind them is the Kansas City Chiefs, who have now started to find a rhythm. Patrick Mahomes is starting to get it going again with all those weapons that he has. Him and Travis Kelce had an amazing game together just this passing. I think Kelce had like 8 catches for like 140 yards or something like that. When those two can really get it going, that's when that offense is so dangerous, because now they're looking for Kelce underneath. And then that's when they go over the top to Tyreek Hill, or maybe they get McCole Hardman on a jet sweep or something like that. And like you said, you got one of the best coaches there offensively. And I even say just overall managing the organization. Andy Reid is one of the best coaches of all time. So don't count out the Kansas City Chiefs, especially when they're getting it rolling right now. But I think what the main topic here was just that it's been so up and down for so many teams that the opportunity to be the best team in the AFC is still out there for somebody if they want to go out there and grab it and solidify themselves as the best team in the AFC going forward.
Right, and it's just the 1 seed that gets that bye in the first round of the playoffs that could be huge for a team coming up this down the stretch of the season too. And with the Patriots, they have Tennessee this week, and then they have Buffalo the following week. So a lot could change, or a lot could get a lot better for the Patriots
Yeah.
over the next couple of weeks before they hit their bye. So these next couple of weeks are going to determine a lot in the top of the AFC standings, no question. And folks, that's going to do it for topic number 6.